Hey, what's up everybody? This is Flashback Toys and Collectibles, and today I'll be opening up a WWE or WWF Superstars Andre the Giant figure. So here's a look at the front of the packaging here. This is made by Mattel. It includes fabric gear, so they're talking about the singlet right here. So if you take a look at Andre the Giant here, he does appear to be shorter than he should be, but that's because the bottom of his legs is not attached, and those are inside the packaging here. So once we attach those, he's going to end up looking a little bit taller than he is right now. Now let's take a look at the back of the packaging here. The largest professional athlete, Andre the Giant, the 8th wonder of the world. I like my opponents like I like my steak, in bunches. Then here at the bottom it does show some of the other figures that are available, such as Hulk Hogan and Doink the Clown. Okay, let's go ahead and get this guy opened up and see how big this guy really is. So normally what I like to do with my action figures is just keep the card backs and dispose of the bubble. So what I'll do is just cut this bubble off the card back instead of ripping this off. That way it won't rip any of the artwork off, and that'll all stay intact. Okay, this bubble should now pull right off. And we got an Andre the Giant nameplate on the inside of this. And that was actually glued to the plastic there. And it looks like Andre is secured with a couple bands on his arms and legs. So I'll go ahead and get those cut away. Now Andre should pull right out of here. And then underneath this, we got some accessories for Andre, including the bottom of his legs. At least I hope so. Oh, nice. There's a championship belt. So that's pretty cool. Oh, we got 2 pairs of boots. Even cooler. And an afro. So in the early 80s and the 70s, Andre the Giant sported an afro. But in the mid 80s, when I started watching WWF wrestling, I remember Andre the Giant having a haircut that was similar to this. Okay, here's a look at everything that comes inside the packaging. Of course, we got the Andre the Giant figure, a pair of blue boots, a pair of black boots, the WWF Championship belt, which is pretty awesome, and an afro hairpiece. Okay, it's time to go ahead and get his boots attached. So we're going to start with the black boots, and it looks like there's an R for right foot and an L for left foot marked on the top of the boots. So we'll go ahead and put the left on first. And this seems to be a pretty tight fit. In fact, real tight. Seems to be on. Now we'll put on the right boot. And that boot didn't seem quite as tight for some reason, but it seems to be on there pretty good. And there he is, the 8th wonder of the world, Andre the Giant. And I have to admit, this guy looks super cool. I really like that head sculpt. You can definitely tell this is Andre the Giant. Now one thing that's definitely not accurate is the body. Andre the Giant at one point was slender when he was younger and had some muscles, but he never had a build like this. This would be more the body type he had when he was wrestling in the mid-80s for the WWF. Let's take a closer look at Andre. You can see he's got some stubble on his face right there, which looks pretty neat. He's got the sideburns, and he also has that caveman brow line. The singlet is made out of a fabric that's kind of stretchy. The boots are just black with black laces, which would be pretty accurate to the outfit he wore when he was in the WWF in the mid-80s. Now let's check out the articulation. So the head can swivel around and up and down slightly. And I guess you can pull the hair off as well. Whoa. I don't like seeing Andre the Giant without hair. That looks really weird. Let's go ahead and put that back on. Alright. The arms can move up and down at the shoulder and around. The elbow can move up and down and also pivot around. The hands can pivot back and forth and up and down. You can also pivot at the waist. Then the legs can move around at the top and also bend at the knees. Then the boots can pivot from side to side. Then the ankles can pivot up and down as well. And I just noticed something here. It looks like the singlet got sucked up in the shoulder here, so that's not cool. But it does pull right out of there with ease. I just need to be careful with that because I don't want to rip this. Now let's go ahead and check how tall this guy actually is. So it looks like he stands at about 6 3/4 of an inch tall, which is quite a bit taller than the other figures in this toy line. Let me grab a Hulk Hogan for a comparison here. And he stands at about 5.5 inches tall. So as you can see here, there's a pretty big size difference between these two guys. And just for a couple more size comparisons, here is the Ultimate Warrior, which also stands at about 5.5 inches tall. And here is Macho Man Randy Savage at 5.5 inches tall. So all these guys standing next to Andre the Giant look puny in comparison, which really makes Andre the Giant look like a true giant, which he was. Okay, let's take a look at the other accessories that come with Andre the Giant. We'll start with the championship belt. So this has a nice gold finish with a black belt, and it says right on here, World Heavyweight Wrestling Champion. Now let's go ahead and try this on Andre and see how well it fits. And this belt seems like it might be too small. I'm having a hard time getting this to latch to the other side. This doesn't really make sense. The belt should fit him. I guess Andre the Giant's so big that not even the belt fits him. So unfortunately, I've tried everything to make this belt fit on Andre the Giant. I even took him apart here and then tried to slide this over his waist, but it still did not fit. So I guess this belt is just meant to wear on the shoulder area. So I'll try that here in just a few, but right now I'm going to put Andre the Giant back together. And let's see if I can just slide this over his shoulder. Alright, so at least he can wear the belt on his shoulder, so it's not a complete waste. Now let's try out the blue boots. So we'll go ahead and pop the black ones off here. God, again, they're pretty tight. Jeez. Now I need to pop on the left boot. And these are really tight fit, so you probably want to be careful taking these on and off too much to avoid breaking anything on the figure. Jeez. This one seems even tighter. So there's the blue boots, but those look a little weird with the black singlet, so we'll go ahead and remove that now. So I'll take the belt off here and slide the singlet off. And underneath, we have the blue trunks to match the blue boots. Now I'll pop off the short hair and put the afro on. That looks like it slides right over the ears. So that's a very cool feature with this figure, the fact that we can change him from the older Andre the Giant to the younger version of Andre the Giant. So these blue boots do seem to have a little bit more detail than the black boots, because they do have the white laces with the white bottom. Then we have the blue trunks that are the same color as the boots. So it looks like with the afro, he stands at about 6 7/8 of an inch tall, so just shy of 7 inches. So Andre the Giant looks pretty cool as is right here, but I personally prefer the older version of Andre the Giant that wears the black singlet with the black boots, because that's how I remember him looking when I was watching wrestling as a young kid. So I'm going to go ahead and change it back to the other outfit here. Pop off the boots. I'm going to go ahead and take the arms off. That should make it easier to put the singlet back on. Take the afro off with the freaky looking Andre the Giant with no hair. And slide this over his legs. And then over the shoulder. And then pop the arms back on. And get the hair back on. And the boots. Okay, let's go ahead and see now how well Andre the Giant can stand up. Seems like he is a little bit back heavy, but he seems to stand okay. So it's really cool to see Andre the Giant just towering over the other wrestlers, just like he did back in the day. As far as the quality goes with this Andre the Giant figure, it seems to be pretty good. The only issues I really run into is that the boots go on really tight. So if I was to swap these boots out with the other boots back and forth a couple different times, I might end up breaking that post on the bottom of the legs, and then I'll have a big issue. So I'll probably just end up leaving these black boots on and not really mess with these other boots. Now, as far as the championship belt goes, I'm kind of disappointed that it doesn't fit around his waist, but I guess they're trying to make a point that Andre the Giant is too big even for his own championship belt. And what's really cool with this Andre the Giant figure is they made all the parts just a little bit bigger, instead of just using the standard mold that they used for Hulk Hogan and Macho Man, which basically had the same exact body, just with different skin tones and a different face. And just to show you for reference, I'll put Macho Man's arm up next to Andre the Giant's, and you can see there's a giant difference there. Even Andre the Giant's hands are quite a bit bigger. So when you see his hands next to Macho Man's, there's a pretty big size difference. And just out of curiosity, I'm wondering if Andre the Giant's head will fit on these other bodies and vice versa. So let's go ahead and swap these heads out and see what happens. So the head pops off pretty easy. Let's put Andre's head on Macho Man. And obviously that looks really funny, because even his head's oversized. They really did make everything about this guy giant in comparison to the other figures. Now let's put Macho Man's head on Andre, and that looks absolutely ridiculous. And here's my final thoughts with this Andre the Giant figure. I really like this figure. Even though the body type's not accurate to what Andre actually looked like back in the 80s, I still think he looks really cool. And I really like the fact that they made everything on this guy giant. This guy's gonna look great on display as he towers over the Hulkster, the Ultimate Warrior, and the Macho Man. Okay, it's time for me to go. If you like this video, if you could hit that like button and please subscribe. And have yourself a great day, and I'll see you next time.